most banks wanted me to go an SBA route,
Mm-hmm.
but I was able to get a loan through Santander. I got a line of credit and a term loan. The seller provided about 10% seller debt, and which is pretty typical, of this kind of transaction. Maybe pieced it together differently than most people would with a
Mm-hmm.
home equity line and a term loan and a line of credit. But
Got
you do
creative.
what you have to do, right?
Yeah.
I didn't have to have my wife sign as a personal guarantor. She would have on an SBA.
So when you're selling your business, obviously you want to get the most possible value for what the business is worth. But what a lot of owners don't take into consideration or factor in is how the buyer is actually going to afford the purchase of your business. Now, a lot of times they're going to use a loan, and a lot of times they're going to use an SBA loan. And just as Tim was alluding to in this video, the SBA is not always going to cover the total amount of what your business is worth. It's just not going to happen. So what that translates to is if you're looking to get the top dollar amount for your business, you're more than likely going to have to carry some level of seller finance. Now, this is especially true if you're in an industry like HVAC, car washes, laundromats. These businesses are just selling for extraordinary high multiples because they're very popular in today's market. So you're more than likely going to have to carry a note if you want to get the max possible value, especially in those industries, but really in any good business. Because again, the SBA is financing on an asset basis and you are buying goodwill or a multiple. So as a business owner, if you're looking to get the highest possible purchase price, you're probably going to have to carry some level of seller finance. But if you want the most amount of money at closing, that changes the conversation. So as you're factoring on what the ideal situation is, determine the level of risk that you want to take on if you want to carry an owner's note, because that ultimately is going to determine who's going to be the best buyer and who has the best offer for your business.